Hi guys! Welcome back to my car for the final installment of my Savor the Season Christmas and Winter series. So today we are going to be talking about how to savor the season from home. So I want to talk to you just about ways that we can enjoy the Christmas season just being at home. So far we've talked about different activities that you can do, different things around the Christmas season, but Christmas isn't all about going out and doing things. That is super fun and a great way to embrace the Christmas season, but really the heart of Christmas is at home, and it's what you do at home that really cements those memories and gives you those great Christmas feelings. It's really what's at home. So let's start talking about different ways that we can embrace the season at home. And to get started with, I would say making things at home, such as candies and cookies, is a really great way to embrace the Christmas season. So, of course, cookies is a given. Like, everybody should be making cookies at home at some point during the Christmas season, I believe, personally. Even if it's just from a box mix. Even if you don't trust yourself to, work off of a full-on recipe, if you've just got a box mix, or they even sell in the stores packaged like cookie sets that you can buy, where the cookie itself is unfrosted and uniced, and you can just buy the icing and decorate it. At the very bare minimum, do that, because just making a tasty treat at home is a really great way to enjoy and embrace the season. And cookies is a traditional one, but candy is a really, really fun one. So if you are feeling a little bit more brave in the kitchen, I would definitely recommend trying some candy recipes. A lot of candy recipes are very simple. Of course, you're not going to be doing like master chocolatier grade stuff here. You might not be making like very, very amazing truffles or anything like that, but you can still make truffles that are really good. And you can do something like peanut butter balls, or in our area we call them Buckeyes. That's something that my grandma used to make every Christmas for all of the family. So she would make a ton of different Christmas candies, fudge and Buckeyes, and basically just whatever we all liked. And at the very least, she would give us those for Christmas. So my grandma really didn't have a lot of money or resources to work with, but she always made Christmas a special time for everybody. She always made sure that even if it was something small and cheap, that she had something to give all of her beloved family members. And even if it was just as small as going out and making some candy or cookies to give to us, she would do that. So, we can follow suit with that. We can get into the Christmas spirit by making things for ourselves to enjoy, or also just making things for other people to enjoy, because candy and cookies make great gifts, especially if you've got somebody that doesn't really need things. So a lot of times I feel like once we get to like adulthood, really, a lot of times we don't necessarily need a thing, but we still want to give gifts. And so food is a fantastic way to do that, especially if it's something that you made, because it's got that little bit of extra homemade love. So yeah, candy and cookies. Okay, so I rambled enough about that. But also another thing that you can do at home is to try roasting your own chestnuts and or having nuts around the house. So I know this sounds a little bit silly, maybe not the roasting chestnuts part, but like having nuts around your house, like what? But if you'll notice, when you go into grocery stores around the holiday season, pretty much starting in Thanksgiving and going through Christmas, you will see a lot of Christmas nut displays. And a lot of times they are nuts that are still in the shells. And they have an amazing variety of them, really, because so often I feel like the nuts that we have access to at the store, we have access to plenty of different kinds of nuts, but normally the ones that you see the most are like almonds, walnuts, pecans. But a lot of times the nuts that they will sell in the stores also include walnuts and almonds and pecans, but they'll have some different ones that you usually don't see around normal seasons. So they'll have like Brazil nuts or pistachios or what have you, but they'll be in their shell. And the thing that's fun about this is you can just get an assortment of whatever kind of nuts that you like, fill a small bowl with it, put it on your coffee table with a couple real nutcrackers, like nutcrackers that can actually crack nuts, not just for show. And then while you're watching a Christmas movie or any movie, you can just sit there and kind of crack nuts. And it's fun because it's like a snack, but you're also doing something at the same time. So it's like a snacktivity. Yeah, it's a snack and an activity at the same time. But also, because of that, you can also try roasting your own nuts too, which is really good. It's fun, it's easy and simple, and it's just another way to get something else that's homemade, but have it be something that you worked on. And roasting your own nuts is super simple, and you can coat them in sugar and just go all out with the spices if you want to, or you don't have to. You can just simply roast them or roast them with salt. And it's really good and easy, but it's still something that you've made, and it made the house smell amazing. Like it's all good. But chestnuts specifically is one that if you have not tried roasting chestnuts, I really recommend trying it, because of course we all know roasting chestnuts just from the song. Like, we know that that's supposedly a Christmas activity, right? But how many of us have actually done it? I've only done it once. But it's fun. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what a chestnut tastes like. It kind of, to me, it tastes like a potato. I don't know if I'm the only one that gets that, but I feel like it kind of tastes like a potato in nut form, like mashed potatoes kind of. But it's just another fun thing that you can do, and it's easy. You can just take a night, and you don't have to have a fire for it. So if you do have a fire, it's a little bit easier. If you have like a fireplace, and you can get a little roasting pan thing that you can put them in. But you don't have to have that. You can just do it in the oven as well. But I will recommend look up how to do that before doing it, because there is a specific way that you have to cut the chestnuts so that they don't just like get all of the heat in them and explode. So you don't want exploding chestnuts in your oven. So do please look up a tutorial before actually roasting chestnuts, but it is a quick and easy activity that you can do, and just do any night of the week. Like, okay, we need a Christmas activity tonight before our movie, so let's roast some chestnuts, something like that. So that would be really fun. And then my next suggestion is reading Christmas stories. So I don't know if this is a no-brainer for anybody else, but around the Christmas season, I love to read Christmas stories. And it doesn't have to be like very well thought out novels or anything like that, just traditional Christmas stories. So I actually really like to have like children's books around that I will decorate with, as well as just reading them myself, because, you know, Christmas is a really nostalgic time, and I don't necessarily have a problem with reading a children's book any time of the year, but especially around Christmas time, like the stories that you grew up with as a kid at Christmas time. So there's one book that I would definitely recommend looking into, called The Three Trees. And I really, really like that story. I actually searched hard for that story because I remember being told it as a child, and I thought it was amazing, because what the story is about is talking about these trees, these three trees, and their ambitions in life. And for quite a few of them, well, okay, for two of them, their ambitions didn't exactly turn out the way that they thought, but it ties in with the true Christmas story, with the story of Christ, and it's just in a really beautiful way, and in a way that is imaginative and you don't necessarily think of, but it's really a story that like sticks with you and, you know, just makes you feel good. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas story, but it's Christmas that I start to think about that and, you know, want that around. And then also like The Grinch and A Charlie Brown Christmas. And yeah, I mean, these are movies too, so you can just watch them in movie form, but there's just something that's charming and cozy about having the book form and like almost reading yourself a bedtime story. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I love Christmas lights, and so if I just like turn on just the Christmas lights and just sit in my room and read one of these stories, to me it's a great experience. And then you've got, of course, A Christmas Carol from Charles Dickens, and, you know, just traditional Christmas stories, and a lot of them aren't long and hard to read or anything like that. So it's really fun to at least read some of them around Christmas time. And then, of course, the true Christmas story, you know, going and reading in the Bible about the birth of Christ is also a fantastic, timely addition to Christmas to really, you know, get yourself grounded and remember what Christmas is all about, what we're actually celebrating. So, yes. And then along those same lines, Christmas caroling. So not necessarily going from door to door. I mean, if you've got a gang of friends or family that is outgoing enough to do that, it would be really fun. I have done Christmas caroling around the streets before, and it is fun, but you kind of have to have a certain personality for that, I feel like, or be with people that have a certain personality like that, because it's just, I don't know, there's just not as much unity or something, you know, it's not as broadly accepted, I guess, as it used to be. And so, you know, it's more of a thing for people who are a little bit more outgoing, as opposed to people who feel a little bit more awkward or just like laid back in situations. So I don't necessarily mean caroling from door to door, even though that's fun, but just Christmas caroling in your house. So another cheap and easy thing that I love to have around my house at the holidays is Christmas Carol books. So they basically are just sheet music of all of your traditional carols. Now, looking for one of these, I would, if you have specific carols in mind that you love to sing and have around, it might take you a little bit of time to find a very good caroling Christmas book, because a lot of times you'll find ones that have more easily accessible carols, but not necessarily like the very old ones. Like I particularly like really old Christmas carols. So sometimes it's a little bit harder to find those. But if you do a little bit of research, you can usually find ones that have the carols that you're looking for. And even if you don't, if you just find a base traditional one, it's a start. And then just like with the Christmas stories, I love to just like sit around my Christmas tree with only the Christmas lights on, and maybe a little bit before bed, grab something warm and cozy to drink and just sing a couple Christmas carols. It can be by yourself. It can be with your family. It is really fun if you have family to share it with. But even if you don't, it's still just really nice to do that. And I do find that having the sheet music, even if you can't read actually the music, as long as you can actually follow along with the lyrics, it's a little bit nicer than just remembering it off of the top of your brain, because for one thing, you have the words right there, so you're not forgetting parts of it. But also for me, I find that when I actually look at the sheet music of songs and I'm not just going off of my memory, it helps me to slow down and actually pay attention to the words, which a lot of times are really beautiful, especially in these ones that have been around for years. And with having the sheet music too, there might be verses that you didn't actually realize were there. So maybe you normally hear about 3 verses of this Christmas song in whatever arrangement it usually comes to you, but maybe there's actually 5, and you'll find different verses in there that are like, oh wow, this song says that, I didn't even know that. And it's just it's really nice to do that, and I like it because I can then focus on the words, and then that song becomes more special to me. So that's something that I love at Christmas time, and it's basically free and cheap. I mean, you can even find the sheet music for songs or the lyrics online. You don't actually have to go out and buy a book. So, I mean, you can basically do this for free. And then also along that same line, since we're talking about activities that you can do with just the lights of the Christmas tree on, is laying underneath your Christmas tree. This might sound weird, but I cannot be the only person who's done this. Actually, I know I'm not, because Nathan said that he used to do it too as a kid. This was one of my favorite things to do at Christmas time, is just lay underneath the Christmas tree. Like before there's any presents underneath of it or anything, or after all of the presents have been opened, to just lay down on the floor and look up at the Christmas tree. And it's like a kaleidoscope of colors, and the colors like bouncing off of the ornaments. It's especially good if you have multicolored lights on your tree. If you don't, that's fine. I don't have multicolored lights on my tree, but if you do, I feel like it just makes it a little bit more gorgeous. It's just another part of the Christmas tree that you don't necessarily normally see, but it's beautiful, and I feel like it kind of transports you into another world. It did for me as a kid. Like, I don't know, it's so beautiful, and it's something you don't normally see, and you're doing it by yourself. So there's not a lot of extra things going on. It's almost like stargazing, except that it's Christmas tree gazing. And I mean, what's wrong with that? So, after that, let me see here. What have I got on my list? Okay. So, snuggling in is also going to be a big thing for Christmas. Grab your favorite. I mean, we kind of touched on this before, but I mean, actually snuggling in now. Not just getting ready to snuggle in, but actually getting snuggled in now. So your favorite jammies, your favorite socks, your favorite blankets. It's time to pile all of those around you, and then get ready to watch your favorite Christmas movies with your favorite Christmas drink, your favorite eggnog or hot cocoa or peppermint latte, whatever it is. just to bring all of those snuggly warm things in. It's cold and blustery outside, and it doesn't feel good when you go out. So just pull all the cozy stuff up next to you and enjoy watching your favorite Christmas movie, and get all your favorite Christmas movies together too. And it's not a bad idea to make a list of basically your favorite Christmas movies. You might not be able to watch all of them, but if you have a list in front of you, you can kind of prioritize which ones you want to see this year, which ones feel special to you this year, and kind of go through that, and just have a great Christmas time. Let's see here. So also just enjoying the lights in general. So the lights in your house, the lights outside your house, the lights of your neighbors' houses, just enjoying that. And really, Christmas at home is all about just enjoying what's around you. It's not necessarily about buying anything new. It's not necessarily about going anywhere new or special. It's just about enjoying what and who is around you. So that would be my final thought for you today, is just to slow yourself down enough to enjoy the things that are at your home or at your disposal to be at your home, to just enjoy them. Take time and actually look at your ornaments. Don't just hang them all on the tree, but as you're hanging them on the tree, looking at them and remembering whatever memories that you have with them and enjoying them. Enjoy wrapping presents. Like, that sounds so silly, but it's an enjoyable experience. I love wrapping presents. It's so fun, and the different ways that you can do bows and tags and all of these things. You can get really fancy with it, and it doesn't have to look fancy, but just enjoy the time with it. Throw on your favorite Christmas movie or your favorite Christmas carols, and just enjoy the season. And that's what I've been trying to get across in all of these videos that I've posted for you, is just to enjoy this time. Yes, there are things going on that you might not enjoy right now. One of them being the cold. And maybe your life is kind of hectic and crazy right now, but somewhere in all of that, somewhere in this Christmas season, take time to just slow down and enjoy what you have, whether that's a fantastic Christmas memory that you have, or something good that's going on in your life this year, something fun that you've seen or did or that you want to do. Just slow down and enjoy it. And Christmas is a really, really great time for remembering things, and also for taking time to be thankful. So I know Thanksgiving is the time frame that most of us think to be thankful, but for me, that always just starts off that kind of train of thought. So around Thanksgiving time, I start thinking about the things that I'm thankful for, but I really kind of extend that all the way to New Year's. And New Year's for me is more about remembering the good things that have already happened, how far I've come from last year. And Christmas is a part of that for me too. About looking back and realizing how much better things are this year than they were last year, whether that's in my personal life or finances or material things or whatever it is. Just looking back and being thankful for how far I've come, not necessarily looking forward to how far I'm trying to get, but just being thankful for what I already have. So I have taken up enough of your time. I got a little bit ranty, but this is my last video for savoring the season, so I wanted to get everything in. But I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas and that you really enjoy this season. And if you have any other tips to add to this list, leave me a comment below and let me know. Thank you so much, guys, and have a fantastic and happy Christmas. Bye-bye.